You pull into the job site before the sun is fully awake, and the whole place already feels alive without you. Diesel engines growl in the dark. Steel beams hang in the air like bones of some giant animal. Men in dirty boots move with a confidence you do not have yet. You step out of your truck with new gloves, stiff boots, and no idea where to stand. Nobody asks your story. Nobody cares what you dreamed of becoming. Out here, respect is not given because you showed up. It is earned after your back hurts, your hands split, and you come back the next morning anyway. Today, someone will hand you a shovel. Years from now, you might run the whole site, price million-dollar buildings, or look across a skyline and recognize pieces of your own life in the concrete. But first, you have to survive level 1. Level 1, Chuck Rank 1. The laborer. Your first job is not building, it is carrying. Carrying lumber until your arms shake, dragging hoses through dirt, lifting bags that seem to get heavier every time someone yells your name wrong. Most people on the site do not even know who you are yet. To them, you are the new guy in clean boots trying not to look lost. Someone points at a pile of debris, so you move it. Someone hands you a shovel, so you dig. Nobody tells you why the hole matters. Nobody explains the bigger plan. At this level, your job is simple. Be useful, be fast, and do not disappear when the work gets ugly. By noon, your shirt is soaked through. Your boots are rubbing blisters into both heels. But you keep walking because stopping makes people notice you for the wrong reason. You push wheelbarrows through mud, sweep floors that will be dirty again in minutes, haul broken concrete, twisted metal, and scraps of wood into dumpsters that never seem to fill. In summer, the heat rises from the ground and hits your face like opening an oven. In winter, your fingers go numb inside your gloves before the day has even started. Rain turns the site into a battlefield of clay, puddles, and slipping plywood. The hardest part is not the weight, it is being replaceable. If you bring the wrong tool, you get yelled at. If you move too slowly, someone else can take your place tomorrow. If you quit, the site keeps moving without even remembering your name. But every day you return, something changes. Your hands harden. Your back learns the rhythm. Your fear turns into endurance. You begin to understand that construction does not teach beginners gently. It tests them first. This is the level where most people quit because they thought they came here to build something. But before you ever build a wall, a bridge, or a tower, you have to build the one thing no one can give you: proof that you can last. Level 2, World Wars Rank 2, The Apprentice. Someone finally notices the one thing you did right. You did not quit. That is enough to move you from pure muscle into a trade. Now you are an apprentice, following a journeyman who has forgotten more than you know. He does not explain life lessons. He shows you once, maybe twice, then expects your hands to understand. You learn to cut, measure, pull, fasten, connect, and repair. When you make a mistake, you do not argue. You tear it out and do it again, because every bad measurement costs time. Every wasted material costs money, and money is the language everyone on this site respects. At night, when other people are resting, you sit in trade school with dust still in your hair and pain still sitting in your wrists. Blueprints that once looked like a mess of lines slowly become rooms, walls, pipes, wires, beams, and systems in your mind. You learn codes written because someone, somewhere, once made a mistake that hurt people. You start keeping track of hours, tests, inspections, and small victories nobody claps for. Your pay gets a little better, but the pressure rises faster. You are no longer just expected to carry things. Now you are expected to learn fast enough not to slow everyone else down. Your body changes again. Your grip gets stronger. Your hands grow thicker. Your back hurts before you are old enough to joke about being old. But something inside you changes too. You stop feeling like a visitor on the job site. You begin to understand the hidden order behind the noise. You are still low on the ladder, still corrected every day, still treated like you have everything to prove. But now, for the first time, you can see a future. If you survive the years, the classes, the exams, and the mistakes, one day you will not just follow the work. You will know how to do it alone. Level 3, Rank 3, The Journeyman. After years of learning, failing, studying, and starting over, you finally pass the exam. You get your card. Now you are a journeyman, And for the first time, people trust you to work without someone standing over your shoulder. That trust feels good, but it is heavier than you expected. If you make a mistake now, it is not just a lesson. It can delay a crew, fail an inspection, waste materials, or put someone in danger. Your hands know things your mind does not need to explain anymore. You can look at a blueprint and imagine the finished space. You can hear when something is wrong, feel when a connection is not right, and spot problems before younger workers even know there is a problem. The money is better now. Overtime makes the paychecks real. You earn more than some friends who went to college, and for a while that feels like victory. But the trade collects payment in a different way. Your knees ache before storms. Your lower back stays tight no matter how much you stretch. Your hands are scarred from cuts, burns, and mistakes you stopped counting years ago. Still, there is pride in it. Most people will never see your best work because it hides behind walls, under floors, inside panels, and above ceilings. But you know it is there. You know the lights turn on, the water runs, the structure holds, because someone like you did the job right. Level 4. Rank 4. The foreman. One day they stop asking you to only do the work. They ask you to run the people doing it. Now you are the foreman standing between the crew and everyone above you. 6 workers look to you for direction. Some are skilled enough to work without being told twice. Some are apprentices who need every step explained. One older guy thinks he should have your job, and he makes sure you feel it every morning. You plan the day before the day controls you. You decide who goes where, which materials are needed, what must be finished before another trade can move in. If your crew falls behind, the delay spreads like a crack through the whole schedule. The superintendent wants answers. The inspector wants corrections. The crew wants clear instructions. And somehow, all of them expect you to stay calm. But the hardest weight is safety. When you were a journeyman, you worried about your own hands. Now you worry about everyone's. A wet floor, a missing guardrail, one careless shortcut, and somebody might not go home the same way they arrived. You learn that leadership is not shouting louder. It is seeing problems early, carrying pressure quietly, and making sure the people under you survive the job as well as finish it. Level 5, Rank 5, the superintendent. Now you do not carry tools. You carry a radio, a phone, and a schedule that never stops changing. You are the superintendent, the person every crew looks for when something goes wrong. Before sunrise, you walk the site alone, checking what moved overnight, what broke in the rain, what delivery is blocking access, what hazard appeared while everyone was sleeping. A job site never stays still. It changes behind your back, then waits for you to find the problem. By morning, the foremen are around you, each one needing something different. Concrete is late. Framing is waiting. Electrical cannot start until plumbing passes inspection. One delay pushes into another, and suddenly 8 workers are standing around costing money every minute. Your job is to make the impossible look organized. You shift crews, call suppliers, argue with inspectors, calm angry subcontractors, and answer the project manager who wants the deadline moved up, even though the schedule is already bleeding. The power feels real, but so does the cost. You leave home before your kids wake up and come back when they are already asleep. You promise your family this project will be the last one that takes so much from you, but another project always comes. And above everything is safety. One fall, one exposed wire, one rushed decision can change a life forever. At this rank, the whole site is yours, but that means every mistake leaves a mark on you too. Level 6, Rank 6, the project manager. Now the mud is no longer on your boots, it is buried in your inbox. You sit in a trailer or an office with drawings spread across your desk, contracts open on your screen, and a phone that never gives you peace. You are the project manager now. The building still matters, but your real job is controlling the money behind it. Every delay has a cost. Every change needs approval. Every mistake becomes a document, a meeting, a negotiation, or a fight. You manage subcontractors who all want to protect their own profit. You review invoices, reject work that is not finished, chase missing paperwork, answer the owner's questions, and explain why the schedule is slipping without sounding like you're making excuses. Weather, design changes, late materials, failed inspections, surprise site conditions, None of it matters unless you can turn the chaos into a new date and a new number. The strange part is that you used to dream about building. Now you spend more time talking about the building than touching it. Your hands are cleaner, but your mind is never off the job. Lunch happens at your desk. Emails follow you home. You gain weight, lose sleep, and tell yourself you will slow down after this project. But by now, you know the truth. In construction, the next project is always waiting. Level 7, rank 7, the estimator. Before anyone digs, lifts, pours, or welds, someone has to decide what the entire project will cost. That person is you. You sit in front of drawings for hours, turning lines on paper into money. Concrete, steel, pipes, wire, doors, windows, drywall, paint, equipment, labor, time, risk. Every piece must be counted before the first truck ever enters the site. This level is quieter than the field, but the pressure is just as sharp. If you miss one major item, the company may lose hundreds of thousands before the job even begins. If your number is too high, you lose the project. If it is too low, you win a disaster. The perfect bid sits in a narrow space between profit and failure, and you are expected to find it again and again. Bid day feels like a storm inside an office. Subcontractors send prices at the last minute. Suppliers change numbers. A small revision can move the total by more money than you made in your first year as a laborer. You submit the bid, lean back, and stare at the screen, knowing you may not find out for weeks whether you won or lost. And tomorrow, another set of drawings will be waiting. Level 8, rank 8, the vice president. After decades in construction, you are no longer managing one project. You are watching a dozen at once. Project managers report to you. Hundreds of workers depend on the decisions you make, from conference rooms, client dinners, and phone calls that start before breakfast. You choose which jobs to chase, which risks to avoid, and which owners are worth trusting. At this level, construction is no longer only about concrete and steel. It is about reputation. You sit across from developers, architects, city officials, and investors who are deciding where to place millions of dollars. They are not just hiring a company. They are hiring confidence. They want to believe that when the schedule breaks, when weather turns, when a subcontractor fails, you will still find a way to deliver. Your name becomes part of the product, and that makes every mistake personal. The pressure is cleaner now, but not lighter. A crane accident, a worker injury, a bankrupt subcontractor, one bad headline, and suddenly everyone is looking at you. When things go right, your name stays quiet. When things go wrong, your face becomes the answer. You used to protect your tools from being stolen. Now you protect something harder to rebuild: trust. Level 9, rank 9, the company president. Now the whole company carries your name, even if your name is not on the sign. 500 employees, hundreds of families, and millions in contracts move because of decisions you make behind a polished desk. You choose whether the company chases hospitals, highways, towers, schools, or government work. You sign contracts so large they would have terrified the younger version of you, the one standing in mud with a shovel and blisters on both heels. But power at this level does not feel like freedom. It feels like weight. Interest rates rise, developers stop borrowing, public funding disappears, insurance costs climb, and suddenly the future of your company can change before lunch. A recession does not look like a headline to you. It looks like loyal workers sitting across from your desk while you explain there is no work left for them. Some have been with you for 20 years. Some helped build the company. Some will never forgive you. You understand why. You drive past old projects and remember the crews more than the buildings. The worker who retired with a broken body, the superintendent who gave everything to the job, the apprentice who never came back after the accident. At this rank, you no longer carry lumber, tools, or drawings. You carry people. Every bid you win feeds families. Every bid you lose takes food off tables. And some mornings before the first meeting even begins, that responsibility already feels heavier than steel. Final level, highest rank, the legacy. You are older now and your body remembers every job even when your mind tries to move on. One knee was replaced years ago. One shoulder still clicks when the weather changes. Your hearing is not what it used to be after decades of saws, engines, hammers, and steel. You do not wake up feeling strong anymore. You wake up feeling used, like a tool that did its job for too many years and was never fully put away. But when you drive through the city, your life is standing everywhere. The hospital where your grandchild was born, the bridge you helped raise in the freezing dark, the office tower where thousands of people work without ever knowing your crew's names. To them, these buildings are just places. To you, they are chapters. You remember the mud, the arguments, the delays, the accidents, the men who stayed, and the ones who never made it to retirement. Your son runs the company now. He calls asking for advice, then ignores half of it, just like you once ignored your own mentors. You smile because now you understand the cycle. Every generation thinks they are building something new, but construction has always been the same truth in different clothes. A young worker shows up with clean boots, raw hands, and no idea what the job will take from him. Someone hands him a shovel. He wonders if it is worth it. And decades later, if he lasts, he may stand in front of something massive and permanent, point at it quietly and say, "I built that." At the bottom, you thought construction was about strength. Lift more, dig faster, survive longer. Then every level taught you the truth. It was never just about muscle. It was about patience, skill, judgment, leadership, money, risk, and memory. The higher you climbed, the less dirt stayed on your boots, but the heavier the weight became. First, you carried materials. Then you carried a crew, then a project, then a company, then the lives connected to every decision you made. And in the end, the reward was not just money or title. It was proof, a skyline full of proof. Buildings that stand after your body slows down, bridges, hospitals, towers, and roads that will outlive your name. Construction gives you something permanent, but it never gives it for free.